What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another amazing and impactful episode of the True Health Forever podcast, where we try to live our best life through the lens of holistic health. I'm your host, Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, and as usual, I have with me the beautiful, the smiling, the galactic health nerd herself, coaching people to live their best life. Please introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? My name is Sinclair, aka
The
Health Nerd, here joining you on a Sunday afternoon. The weather is a little iffy here. It's like overcast, but the sun is peeking through. I see it trying because I was talking about it earlier about how I don't like overcast without rain. It's like, why?
See, I feel like there's somebody who watches and listens just to hear what you say about the day.
It's possible.
I feel like there's that one person that is like, what's Sinclair going to say about the day? Ooh, what day is it? And you do it for them.
Just for you. Just for you, Grandy.
Oh, goodness. No. Hey, Grandy's like, yeah. But as y'all probably know, if this isn't your first episode, if it is your first episode, hey, welcome to TH4. Like, subscribe. We appreciate you. If it isn't, then you know for sure that the queen is the health nerd, and I am the Black history nerd / Black book nerd. Right. Yes. And I'll claim that. I love that. I'll walk in my nerdiness nowadays. But I think we're gonna bring someone on who might out nerd me when it comes to Black books. Yeah, I think he's gonna take it, and I'm here to soak up all the game. I'm here to soak up all the wisdom. But we got the founder of the Black Book Club today joining us. We're gonna talk about building libraries. We're gonna talk about literacy within the Black community, and we're gonna talk about some powerful Black authors. Queen, are you ready?
Are you ready for some Black Book Club? I need to work on these intros.
You please, because
I try to go off
the potential. No. We know you don't freestyle. The potential is there, and then I see the light in your eye. Literally go out like, no, that's not it. that's not.
Are you ready for some book club?
There we go. There we go. Well, without further ado, let's get into the episode. All right, we're out. All right, let's go ahead and bring him in. There goes the king right there, brother Theee. Welcome. How you living?
For having me on. How y'all doing?
You know, blessed over here. Got some food in the queen's stomach, so I'm not in trouble.
Oh yeah, that means you're safe. You're safe for right now.
You good for a couple hours.
Couple hours. That's all I got. Right? How about you over there? I know you celebrating some life over there.
Yeah, we're celebrating my aunt's 80th birthday today.
Yes.
We are
love that. We
all getting together to drive by and say happy birthday.
Love it. And I know that warms her heart, right?
Yeah.
Just seeing the family come by, give that energy, what warms the heart. But we did a slight intro, but in your own magnificent words, if you don't mind introducing yourself and what the Black Book Club is.
Okay, definitely. So I'm Theee Jennings. I started the Black Book Club about 2 years ago. And the purpose of the Black Book Club is because, if you look at statistics, it says that between the age of about 16 to 25, 26, and actually in Black men, it's actually 16 to about 27, we kind of fall out of love for literature. So what that means is our reading levels decrease dramatically. And I think the reason for that is because we're given books in high school. You look at 16, you're looking at about 10th, 11th grade. We're being given books by school that do not speak to our true interests, that do not speak to our character. So we don't identify with these books. I know in my instance, my mother was a vigorous reader, right? She reads 2 and 3 books at one time. My brother's always been a reader. Then when I got to the 10th grade and I was given, I'll never forget, it was Of Mice and Men. And I was told that this is one of the greatest books ever. This is a classic book and all these other things. And I didn't identify with it. I struggled reading it. It didn't speak to me at all. And then I started, then I got another book, like a Shakespeare book. Same thing. It didn't speak to me. And then you tell me Shakespeare is one of the 5 best writers ever. And then I'm saying, well, that must mean that I don't love literature, right? That must mean I don't like reading. So then for 9 years of my life, I went through life just not being a reader, right? And so then when I got 25, 26 years old, I started to discover James Baldwin books and more Toni Morrison books besides the ones that my mom was reading. And so then I realized I do like reading. I didn't like reading what they were giving me. So, we put the Black Book Club together, me and my wife, to decrease that time span, to decrease that's 9-10 years where we could be reading, educating ourselves, strategizing, connecting with other people, learning. That's 10 years of learning that's just gone, right? And so now I'm running double time trying to catch up to that. So we put the Black Book Club together to decrease that amount of time that we lose. So we want to show our age range and younger that reading is cool. So we always try to incorporate a lot of current culture, a lot of things that I think before kind of the word nerd, we would kind of shy away from, especially as Black men. And then we become 26 years old, we start to embrace that. Hey, I'm a nerd, so we want to try to take a lot of that shame away from the word nerd and some of that shame away from reading. We enjoy reading. There's revolutionary books. There's so many books out there that you can identify with. Whenever I do a vending event and somebody comes up and says, well, I don't read that much. Once I ask about 3 or 4 questions, I hand them a book. They're like, oh, this is exactly what I want. This is exactly what I'm looking for. So it's not that you don't read that much. You're not being given books that truly interest you.
Right. And so I want to talk about this, and this is off the riff, right? But I feel like growing up, I felt the exact same way, middle school to high school. I was just like, I don't read. I don't like to read. I'm not going to read these books.
You said that when I met you.
Yeah, literally when we met, I was like, nah, I don't read. And like we would read in the dorm room. I would fall asleep, and I was like, it's not my bag. But now it's like I love to read what I want to read, what's interesting to me. So I'm wondering, in education, do you feel either it's on purpose, or how can we shift it to where our melanated scholars can read something that they're actually interested in, and not read something that is going to say the N-word in it 3 or 4 times, right? And it's almost creating a trauma between reading, because every time we read in class, all these books have the N-word in it, or the Black character is a low level character, and it's like I'm living this trauma every single time we read in class. So now I don't like to read because I associate negative things with reading.
Definitely. I think it's a mix of both, right? I think that, I don't put anything past the education system, so I'm not going to say it's not on purpose, right? So I think that we're being given an altered reality. So if you're given books that always, like you said, speak to the Black character being either less intelligent or violent, it's just like movies. The first time you hear a rap song is when they show that jail scene. Or the only time you see the Black characters when they're on the corner drinking a beer. That forces you to identify with something that you don't truly identify with, right? So then, especially in our people's minds, it makes us have to formulate an opinion on ourselves that is lesser than what we truly are, right? So that makes us want to join in on what the popular phrase is, or popular culture. So if you show us books that just keep showing our intelligence on a lower level, and these authors are very, very talented at doing that, at displaying ourselves as being less intelligent, right? So then also what I say is intentional is that the books that I sell, a lot of them are banned, right?
Wow.
And the reason why a lot of them are banned, and you see books like James Baldwin books are banned, Toni Morrison books are banned. Right. And you're like, well, like the Son of Solomon is banned from school. If you give your child a Son of Solomon book, a Song of Solomon book, and they do a book report on it, they'll probably get a 0, guaranteed 0. And they'll say the reason for that is because the book speaks to the racial inequalities that we go through as people. But you're saying, like, how is that banned when all it does is speak to the truth, right? Because we're given a truth that is shattered. So if you if you speak to radical books, and not even radical books, really just any books, if you
Right.
speak to black books, they will say, no, we're not letting them in there. And they call any black book a radical book. You know, they'll call James Baldwin, If Beale Street Could Talk, as a radical book, which it is not. It's a book about love.
Right.
But when
Black
you're
love
dealing
is
with
radical, though, Tyree. Black love is radical.
black love is very radical. When you're dealing in a system that you know, perpetuates us in a cycle that is lesser, anything is radical, right? Black love is radical. You know, black friendship is radical. So when you talk about Toni Morrison book, The Bluest Eye, black confidence is radical. The bluest eye speaks to being confident in who you are. So these are all things that we're put into a system that these books fight against. Right. So against the system, you can't depend on the system to give that to you. You can't depend on the system to push that in front of you.